Hey guys, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell to stay notified when the next video is uploaded. Did you click it?
Hello YouTube, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be showcasing the best seed for Minecraft Console Edition. You guys seem to love the other videos. This is the 7th installment in this series, and I don't see any reason why to stop the series. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. So this seed is going to be mainly working for PS4 and probably nothing else. It's going to work for the other older editions of Minecraft consoles, such as the old Switch edition and the old Wii U editions of Minecraft, along with PS3, your Xbox 360 edition. But for Xbox One, where it's Bedrock edition, the new one, and the new Nintendo Switch Pocket Edition Windows 10, it's not going to work for. So if you guys got a look of Minecraft like this, then you're all set to go. Let's go ahead and check this out. So if you guys want to get the seed, go over to create world, then go down to more options, and then you guys are going to need to put in the seed. So the seed is right there. Make sure that find balance seed is unticked. Then you want to go ahead and set your world size to classic, and then go ahead and set your biome scale to large. And then you guys should be all good to go. Nothing else is needed, but I already loaded up the world on a separate save right here, so I can go ahead and have everything marked out for this video. Let's jump right in. Alright, so now that we are in the seed, let's go ahead and check out what it has to offer. So right here is the spawn, and if you guys are curious about the coordinates, it's going to be on the left hand side via the map. Let's go ahead and fly over to here, and we're going to come across our first village. This is actually pretty nice, but let's go ahead and check if it has a blacksmith. Sadly, for our first village, we got rather unlucky, and it doesn't have a blacksmith. I'm going to go ahead and break the 2 blocks on the bottom so I know that they've been here already, so we can get a proper account of this map. So right here, we have our first outpost, so this is going to actually have a good amount of loot. This is a good starter amount. It has some wheat, it has some arrows. It also does have some logs, along with a few potatoes and a crossbow, which is really nice to have. But let's go ahead and head over to here. But let me make sure that I break these 2 bottom blocks so that we know we've been here. So right here is our first desert temple. This is actually really nice. I like the location of it. It's right next to the outpost, and everything's flowing along pretty nicely. But let's go ahead and head down here. We need to make sure that we have TNT explodes off. That's good. Okay. And right inside of here, we have some gunpowder, some bones, a golden apple. It's a regular one, so it's not too good. But we do have some rotten flesh and some sand, and that's about it for this chest. Right here in the next chest, we have bone arthropods 2 and feather falling 2. It also has some rotten flesh along with some gunpowder. Our next chest is going to be really good for mining. It has iron ingots, gold ingots, along with some bones and some gunpowder, which is always nice to have for that TNT. But you can also get TNT from the bottom of these desert temples. And I do have to tell you guys, there's so many on this seed. Right here in the last chest, we have some sand, rotten flesh, iron ingots, along with some bones, and that's about it for that chest. It's actually pretty decent, and you can't forget about the sand, but who really cares about that? Right here is our second village. It has some crops that you can go ahead and gather, but sadly doesn't have any blacksmith, so it's kind of very useless. But all the rest of the villages should have a blacksmith or some crops, so you guys can go ahead and make use of it. Right here is our third village. It doesn't have too much important, just like the last one, but it does have some crops, and you can always set up base here if you guys would like to. But sadly, this one doesn't have a blacksmith. I'm really hoping that we can come across something very soon, and it is in the desert biome, so there's bound to be a bunch more villages. Right here, this is actually a very interesting location for this outpost, and I'll show you guys why. We actually have some carrot, string, wheat, arrows, and some logs. And also over here, it's even getting better. Take a look at this. We do have a brand new spawner above ground, and this is actually pretty phenomenal because it has 2 chests. Let's go ahead and see what's inside of these. Okay, this is pretty rare. I'm hoping that you guys get the same thing, but we do have 2 of the same music disc. It's Cat, so you can have Cat anywhere you go. Cat is one of my favorite Minecraft music discs. I'm pretty sure it's my favorite music disc of all time. I remember listening to a remix of it, and it was pretty good, but that's like the only thing that's notable out of it, unless you want to go ahead and grab this bucket, and everything else is just not too notable. So the main things out of the other chest is Silk Touch 1, which is actually pretty good, in the Iron Horse armor, and you can also pick up some string along with some golden ingots. But let's move on to the next attraction on the seed. Right here is our second desert temple, so let's go ahead and see what this one has to provide. Oh, okay, so this one actually has emeralds, and it has some golden horse armor. That's the most notable things, along with the rotten flesh and the usual. But let's go ahead and check out the next one. This one has some more emeralds, and it also does have a golden ingot along with some sand and some string, which is always nice to have. Okay, this one is actually the best one out of all of them. So we do have some string, rotten flesh, and some diamond horse armor, which is really good. And you can get a bunch of horse armor if you guys are really into horses on Minecraft. So right here we do have some emeralds, rotten flesh, a looting 1 book, and some iron horse armor. So it seems like we're getting a bunch of horse armor out of this one single desert temple, which is always nice to have. But that is our only second desert temple. We're doing pretty good so far. 3 outposts, 3 villages, 1 above ground spawner, and 2 desert temples, which is always nice to have. Let's move on to the next one. Right here is our 3rd desert temple. This one's extremely interesting because it's right next to the border. I believe it gets cut off. Oh, okay. So this one is very lucky to not get cut off. I believe, if I'm right, it's right next to the edge. Yep. Right here is the exact edge. You can't even... Yeah, you can't even break this last block over here, so it just made it. But let's go ahead and go down here and check out what the loot is. So this one has some gunpowder, rotten flesh, and some golden horse armor, which is always nice to have. I'm pretty sure you guys have enough horse armor by now. Right here we have iron ingot, rotten flesh, string, and some gunpowder. The basic stuff. Here we have emeralds, rotten flesh, gunpowder, and especially the diamond horse armor. It's going to really come in handy if you guys are into horses in Minecraft. This one is just not notable, but I'll say it anyway. Some rotten flesh, some string, and some sand. Nothing really too much there. And that's going to wrap up this desert temple. It was severely disappointing. I'm really hoping that we can actually get an enchanted golden apple out of one of these. Those are the ones that I really have been looking for. But let's go ahead and go over to the next structure. Right here is our 4th village. This one is having a really nice aesthetic. As you can see, it's going inside of a forest biome, which is pretty rare, because it actually has the desert biome structures of everything, so it's still made out of sandstone, which is a really nice touch to this one. But it does have a decent amount of crops, and I would recommend coming over here. But the reason why I would mainly recommend coming over here is because of this desert temple that is right next to it. Very convenient. And let's go ahead and drop down to see what it has. In this one we have some rotten flesh and iron ingots. In this one we have sand, rotten flesh, and emeralds. Guys, we finally found it. An enchanted golden apple in one of these. It also has a regular golden apple, some rotten flesh, and some string. And I'm just so excited that we finally found one. I didn't really think we were gonna go ahead and find it in this video, but we got very lucky. We even got luckier, guys. We have rotten flesh, sand, and we also do have some bones along with a diamond, which is always nice. You don't need to go mining for it. Right here is our 5th or 6th desert temple. I'm not exactly sure. I kind of lost count. Let's go ahead and drop down here and let's see what it has to offer. Right here we have some bones, emeralds, sand, and some golden horse armor. Right here in this chest we have some golden ingots, rotten flesh, and gunpowder. Here we have some bones, string, rotten flesh, and emeralds. And in the last chest, which is pretty disappointing, just some sand and rotten flesh. Hopefully the next desert temple or structure is more impressive and will probably give us better loot. Right here is the next village, which I believe this is the 5th one. Let's go ahead and scope out if it has a blacksmith, which I strongly believe it doesn't. It would be very rare if it did have a blacksmith, which is pretty hard to find. Let's go ahead and keep looking, and sadly it doesn't have a blacksmith. I'm gonna probably have to do some more research on blacksmith seeds because I know a lot of people like to see them. Let's go ahead and check this one out. So as you guys can see, we have some crops here. It's pretty basic, but it actually has an outpost right next to it right here, which is always nice. I believe this is like the 6th outpost, which is pretty insane. Let's go ahead and go over to... Wait, oh yeah, I thought, okay, this guy, I thought he was doing something real quick, but he's all good, he's all good. Okay, so right here, we actually have some potatoes, wheat, iron ingot, and some logs, which is always nice. It's gonna come in handy. Right here we have another village, and I believe that makes 6, and also we have another outpost, which I'm thinking this is 7 by now. It's actually getting pretty insane. Let's go to see what's inside this chest. So we have some enchanting bottles, some XP, we have some arrows along with some logs, and the rest of the stuff doesn't really matter. It's pretty basic, but let's go ahead and check out the stronghold. So this is the stronghold, and I really want to showcase this in detail because the structure of it is actually really nice. So this looks pretty basic. You have a stronghold room and you have this and everything, but let's go back up. I believe it was up the stairs, and this is where it gets very interesting because it's inside of a ravine. Everything's really glitched out. I think it actually gives the look of this really cool abandoned stronghold, and I like it. Actually, it's really nice. It's exposed as well. There was one time that I showcased in a completely exposed stronghold room, or it had the room like this. It was kind of, it was similar like this, but then it had a ravine inside of it. So the ravine was showing that this room was existing, which was so cool, and it was just the coolest seed that I came across so far. But that's gonna probably wrap up the video for today, so bye for now. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like the video. If you guys want to submit seeds for me to go ahead and showcase, make sure to go ahead and subscribe and put it down in the comment section so you guys can actually be entered in a chance for me to go ahead and showcase the seed. But with that being said, I'll see you guys next time in the next video. Bye.